so beautiful.
It certainly is. Now run along. I don't think you belong here.
This episode, Frozen Out, is one of the saddest episodes I think this show ever had, so let's talk about it. At the beginning of the episode, Virgil and Richie are celebrating the holidays. When the electricity of the city goes out, he heads to the substation and sees the generators are frozen. When he gets rid of the frozen ice, giant frozen spikes starts raining down. He gets away and then sees a lonely girl asking for change. He brushes her off by saying,
Got any change?
Look, I'd like to help, but now's not a good time, okay?
The next day, Richie meets Virgil at his place and hands him a newspaper, and Virgil reads,
Static has agreed to light the 50-foot tall tree at the Dakota City Media Plaza.
Later at the mall, shopping with Daisy, he sees the girl from yesterday. He realizes that the windows are becoming frozen as she walks past by. The girl starts looking at jewelry and the person working there tells her to leave and grabs her, startling her, and her powers activate and freezes half of the mall. We get a flashback of her past, and her mom looks sick, celebrating Christmas with her, and her dad walks out on them, and her mother passes. We see the events unfold and child services takes her in until... Later, Virgil and Richie are at the gym in the community center, and Virgil tries to leave by telling his father that this is stuff that he doesn't need to worry about, but his father explains that this stuff is for poor families that have to get through the holidays. The Reverend says,
That's right. The government says there are more than 7 million homeless people in this country.
Maybe 500,000 of them are kids your age or younger, out on the street, totally alone.
How does that happen?
Any one of 1,000 ways. Long-term unemployment, a marriage gone bad, a runaway child.
Man, that's hardcore.
Later, Richie calls Virgil about the huge storm that could be connected to the lonely girl and her powers. When Static finds her in the city, he says, come with me now, triggering her and her flashbacks about her incident and activating her powers once again, causing her to run away from Static, and successfully does. Virgil then heads to Dakota City Cable Car Company repair depot where homeless people live. A lady with kids tells him that this is where she stayed, and Virgil finds her family picture. He gets more information about her backstory by the Reverend.
And sorry to say, she's fairly typical. Nearly half of all homeless people suffer from some type of mental illness.
I'm not a social worker. How can I help someone like that?
When you find her, try to remember this. She's not some faceless category, the homeless. She's a person like you and me, a person in pain.
He does his best to defend himself, but then Static says,
Come on, Marine, chill out.
and with his help, he takes her to the church. Also, not forgetting about Richie's dad. Elements of holiday, religion, homelessness, mental health, and understanding it as a hero is what I love about this episode. It was about taking the time to look around and being more socially conscious, is what the creators were trying to tell us. And as the Reverend says, some of us are blessed while others are not. We must show compassion when we can. I enjoyed this episode because we saw Virgil grow as a hero and as a person who noticed his mistakes. He was able to connect with Maureen and was just able to talk with her. And sometimes that's all it takes, is to talk and for somebody to listen. Sometimes we are like Static in the beginning and brush people off, and living in New York City, I see that every day. This episode hits home for a lot of people, and I love that the creators show these kind of stories in a hero like Static and in an animated format. Love that animation is becoming more mainstream. So here's a big question: should we go over the DC's new 52 animated universe movies? I'd love to talk about my favorite things and the changes they made compared to the new 52 comics. Let me know what you thought about this episode, and does this story hit home to you? Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Till then, see you next time, Geek Gods.